Yo, what is up, y'all? Skratcher of the year 2025 is officially done, son.
Woohoo!
Damn.
Done, son.
Finally.
It's finally done. And guess what? We've got a champion. We've got a winner.
There we go.
We've got a winner right here.
Yeah.
Yo, make some noise for DJ Celly, y'all.
She get fader clicks. Give us some fader clicks too.
Yeah, click.
I got fader way over here.
I got no fader.
I can reach one.
But yo, Celly, Skratch of the Year 2025 champion officially.
Yeah.
There it is.
Bro.
Very official.
Well,
you could shave off the playoff beard now. You're good. You already won. So.
I'm probably gonna do it. But I didn't want to do it before this. Everybody be all freaked out. Who the fuck is this guy?
They cloned him.
Yeah. I spent a lot of time explaining who I am to people after I shaved my beard off. It's kind of annoying. Like, no, that's my daughter. I'm here every day. I just don't have a beard today.
Daughter won't recognize you if you shaved off the beard. She won't recognize you.
She recognizes me, but just like random parents, even other strangers or passers by that I see.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, they'll be like, "Wait, is that you?" Like, yeah, man, just my face. There's a face under here.
Do you normally keep the beard on like throughout the year?
It comes and goes, but a lot of times in the summertime I'll shave it off. But yeah, winter I just end up, it just grows back, and then it's like it gets to a point where it's just I don't even have to really maintenance it much, and then it's just there. But all of a sudden, then it's like giant, So
it must get really hot with the beard. Talking about your name, so is Celsius like? Would you rather be hot or cold? If you're gonna like talk about your name.
I guess not. But yeah, yeah, I mean, that was, I don't know, we could get into the whole origin story of Celsius if you want to go straight there, but.
Sure, while we're already there, what's the origin of your name?
Sure, so let's go.
Let's go. Sure, we're already there.
Yeah. I got turntables in like freshman year of high school, and so my buddies were really into snowboarding, and they had started their own snowboarding crew called Celsius Industries. And so I was like, well, I'm not going to be DJ Sam. Maybe I'll be DJ Celsius. I'll be your official DJ. And they're like, yeah, you'll be the DJ. We'll throw parties, snowboard. And then I just never changed it. And so, yeah, it stuck around for a long time. And then eventually I was like, I have nothing to do with like, Celsius, the temperature measurement, all that. So it was like, I just needed to change it. And some people had already started calling me Celly kind of as a nickname. And so at a certain point, I was like, I'm just going to lean into that and change all my things to that and move on. So, yeah, that's kind of where it came from.
We should make an album together, dude. I'll be Fahrenheit.
Yeah, let's go. We'll bring it back.
There you go.
But yeah, some people still like know me from that. I've run into a few random people in Portland, and they'll be like, Celsius! And be like, yo! It's different now, but that's all good.
So do you have like any aliases? Like, do you call yourself like Celly Furtado or, any other ones? Like,
I mean, honestly, it started back on the D Styles message board to date myself. Somebody would call me celery ass. This Jeebus. I don't know if you guys remember Jeebus.
I remember Jeebus, man.
Yeah, I remember
Jeebus was actually a real person that lived in Eugene, which was crazy. And so that's a whole other thing I could get into. But yeah, he was actually, he was one of the first people I ever met and scratched with when I was like 15. But he also just worked in a tech spot and was on the computer all day. So he was on the D Styles board like all the time, multiple aliases, playing jokes. So I actually got to introduce Jeebus to D Styles when he came to Eugene one time, and that was a pretty funny message board real life moment. He's like, right, where's Jeebus? Who's Jeebus in this bar? I was like, I'll take you over to him. Let's go talk to him.
That's hilarious.
That was at the Bastard Language Tour. So again,
a
really long time ago.
That was held in a restaurant, right? A restaurant bar ish.
It was a bar / restaurant. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The Wetland Brew Pub.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's still there, but yeah, that was a wild scene. Mostly that there was no one there, so that was funny.
Hey, Celly, so going back, let's go back to Skratch of the Year real quick.
Let's do it.
Bro, okay, like, what do you think, man? Like 6 rounds? Too much?
It was a lot of rounds. It was a lot of rounds for sure.
Right.
I
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
you know, after the 5th round, that one, I like worked really hard on that one and like spent a lot of time just trying to get a take that I liked. And after I turned that in, I was like, I don't know if I'd be mad if I didn't make the next round. I could just not do any more battle videos, but
Yeah.
it was all good. You know, I was happy to step up and go at it again. But yeah, probably, you know, one of my least favorite things to do with scratching is like drilling a battle video into the ground and like trying to get that take that you feel good about. But I do kind of have a system because I've messed with this many times over the years and I've developed, I don't know, kind of ways of notating things so you don't just like, because you can just, if you're not careful, you can record 15, 20 takes and then lose track of what, even with a good one. Next thing you know, you're spending a couple hours fucking watching 1-minute videos of yourself until you're crazy. That's not a good way to go about it. So yeah, I try to like kind of, if I feel good about one, I'll like mark it down like in the session or whatever. And so it's easy to kind of, okay, I can go back and be like, here's a couple I should listen to and see if I'm happy with or try to get it again. So yeah, it's a process though, for sure. Especially the later rounds where it's like, I really wanted to, you know, bring something unique and push myself to like do some crazy shit.
That's crazy.
So.
How many attempts would you say it took you, like, on average?
I mean, probably, you know, the first couple were like, there's just I don't know, 2 or 3, you know, I did it pretty quick. And then maybe the last 2 or 3 rounds, I don't know, probably anywhere from 10 to 20 to maybe more, you know. A lot of times also it's like, it's not always me. A lot of times I'll start recording and then realize like I'll kind of the routine will develop as I'm trying to get a better take. And I'm like, oh, actually, you know, this kind of phrasing works here, and then I'll do this and this. And so it's also part of the process of like dialing in the routine. And the way I scratch is like, I'm not, you know, I have ideas about what I want to do, but I don't like line it up fully technically where I'm like, oh, I got to do this scratch and then this scratch and every time. And if I don't do it right, then it's like, fuck that take. I kind of have a general vibe for each kind of part. And then if I hit that, I feel good about it and I keep going. So yeah.
That was like my next question was like, just because of the fact that you are a musician, artist, and also producer, you know how to compose, like it would come naturally to you to do these scratch, sets.
I mean, you know, honestly, not as much, I guess, because like when you're recording, you can go in and edit and you can, you know, not every recording is a one take thing. So it's kind of the fact that it's like, it is one take. So it's finding that balance of like active listening, performing, and not getting sidetracked when like that's happened to me where I like halfway in, I'm like, this is sick. And then I go and I just do something shitty and I'm like, well, that fucking take's done. So you got to find a balance there.
All of us.
Yeah.
Exactly. Everybody can relate to that. So yeah, that's true. But recording, you know, you can be like, all right, let me just do this little part and then I'll punch in another one. I'll punch in another one or go back and edit. And so that has its own rabbit holes that you can get stuck in. But yeah, the kind of live take challenge is its own unique thing.
At what point do you either say, I really like this one, or is it more like, fuck it, this is probably the best I'm going to get?
More often than that, you know, sometimes every now and then I've had, you know, I've been in a lot of different battles and tried a lot of different ways of doing it. And yeah, sometimes it's like, fuck, I nailed that shit. I don't got to do anymore. Yay. But more often than not, it's like, oh God, it's due today. I got these 2 or 3 that I feel pretty good about. I should pick one. Because if I keep just beating my head against the wall, like I'm not going to get anything else that's good or whatever, or up as good as those. So there's kind of always a point where I have to just accept a take. You know, it never quite gets to that. You know, just like any recording, like you're not going to get this like magical perfection thing. Yeah, exactly. So it's generally about like finding out what I want to say, and then at least hitting like 70 or 80% of that, and then feeling good about that, and not having any like super flubby moments. So yeah, I mean, for sure. Sometimes it's just like, fuck it, I don't want to do this shit anymore. And I feel good about these ones that I got. So a lot of times I'll get a good one and then I'll be like, all right, let's see if I can like do a little better. And maybe I don't. And then I just go with that one that I felt good about.
Can relate for sure, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So going from like the first leading all the way to like to the last rounds, did you feel like you're adapting to like different you know, like all the beats that Justin and Paul were throwing, these were like totally challenging with some of them, right?
For sure. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of both because it went from picking your own beats and kind of a wide field where it's like, okay, like I'm fairly confident that like I'll be all right and I don't have to go do some crazy shit to make it to the next round. Less pressure to like, okay, these last few rounds there was that and the beats got crazier. So it was kind of a double challenge of that. Like, how do I feel comfortable on this beat, but how do I pick what I do that's going to be impressive enough to like whatever get to the next round?
Yo, big ups though. You've adapted every round, bro.
You did.
Thanks, man.
You did.
Big ups, man.
I thought a lot about like trying to, what to do on each one, or like tried a lot of different records, or man, I really tried to get that Step in My Office sample in there on one of those, but it just wasn't, it wasn't going to happen with the other samples that are near it on that record. I was like, I can't make this tight. But I tried.
Who would you say was your greatest competitors in this competition?
Man, I don't know. I mean, honestly, I feel like the last two, Pad and Cheddarak, like those guys their entries were all so sick. And I also like paid a little more attention to everything once it was down to more like the top 8 and stuff. I'm not going to watch, I know the judges have to, but I'm not watching 32 entries. No offense to all the people. I know everybody's putting in their work, and like I saw plenty of them that were super dope. So, but what I've learned also in those situations is you can't get too hung up on like who you're really against, because that'll just fuck with your head. You can be like, okay, I know so and so is good at technical phrasing, so I want to like make sure I do that, and so is good at this and that. I want to make sure I like do my version of that. But yeah, I mean, I've been in online battles and it's like against Critique or IQ or some shit. It's like, what the fuck am I going to do to against these guys that's going to put me above them? So you just kind of gotta do your best and hope people like it.
There you go. Well said, dude. There you go. Yeah. So why don't do you guys want to start to go over some footage here and see?
Are we watching the videos?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Let's get through it and pick your brain.
Hey, you got chosen to be part of a battle. How'd you feel about that, Celly?
Hey, I did think, the Skratcher of the Day thing was very cool, and I love that you guys were doing that. And I appreciate getting picked early on. I remember seeing that. I was like, hey, my guys. So I thought that whole thing was very cool, and like was just a cool way to have something interesting every day / put some highlights on some folks that don't get much shine necessarily. While you did big DJs, but y'all did a ton of bedroom DJs and just like Skratcher folks that, don't get people checking their stuff out. And I hope that, maybe gave their little social media a bump or gave them a little pop of inspiration. So that's cool. And then, having them all in a battle, that was pretty wild. So it was like 60 or 70 people that submitted for the first round. I don't remember what the number was.
Yeah. And I think I think it was PJ that submitted you in for his selection, right?
Oh,
was
nice.
it you, PJ?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So PJ wins the pot, the gold.
Yeah.
Right. Bet on the golden goose.
That's right. He's your official sponsor. So like, he sponsored you in, so he gets a little piece of whatever.
What is this, the Hunger Games, dude?
The tribute and shit.
You have to call him Ninong for the rest of your
You gotta,
all right.
Kiss the ring every time you see him now.
All right, next time I'll do that.
All right, let's go check it. Let's go check out.
Oh yeah, so it was round one.
All right, so with round one, we had open beat on this one, right?
Correct.
It was like whatever you want to do, 1 minute rounds. Here we go.
Pull out your cut.
It's like smooth sailing.
Round
Yeah.
one. Round one.
Celly, what beat
Clean.
is that, bro?
Yeah.
That is a beat by my buddy Spinach, who's a dude up here in Portland, who's a super dope DJ, producer. He raps. He's just kind of all around hip hop guy who has been doing it a long time too. But yeah, he actually lives down the street, but he makes really dope beats. And yeah, he actually got tapped to open for Craze and Newmark in Portland last year. And so, but he hit me up and he's like, hey, like, I'm not gonna really be able to like scratch that much for these guys. I was like, man, I'll come up and like cut it up. So I ended up, he sent me like a little pack of beats and be like, these are the beats I'll throw on. And so that was cool because I did like hop up there and just cut up over those beats at that show for a little while, and that was fun. And so yeah, I always like those beats. That's one of the beats. And hit him up. I was like, hey, can I use this for the battle? He's like, go for it. So yeah, he's dope. Check him out.
Shout out, man.
Shout out.
So would you say that beat is like that your pocket tempo?
It's close to it. I think that's like, I feel like that one's, you know, in the higher 90s, maybe it's like 97 or something. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like, and I always have tried to be able to scratch at all the tempos. But yeah, the mid 90s was very comfortable for me. Absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Dope.
So for that round, like, did you like freestyle that entire round?
Yeah.
Really? That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, I mean, that's just like, yeah, for that one, I was like, you know, I don't want to stress about this battle. So I do, you know, I grabbed a record I like a lot. That's Food Around the Corner. That's Mike Boo's first break record, which is a classic. And actually has some super dope sentences on it. So yeah, anyway, I also like to, you know, like use like random like classic records in the battles too. So I think I used Hee Haw at some point, and I guess we'll get there. But yeah, so that I always have liked that record. It also has some very like recognizable samples from like the Dead Hoddings guys and all that they used. So I love that record. So yeah, cut it up on that and just kind of, I don't know, did a few takes and was like, hey, this one was clean and funky and felt good about it. So
and you were saying that you didn't want to stress out on this, and later on you ended up stressing out.
Well, I've been in enough like battles or whatever that I know how it gets, or how I can put myself in that situation where maybe I waited too long to start recording or whatever, and it's like becomes not as much fun. So yeah, I wanted to go into it making it a good time until, you know, maybe I make it to the end or whatever, and then I can really get crazy with it. But yeah, I didn't want to stress out about the first whatever, but especially the first round. I'm like, hey, you know, I assume I'll do okay.
So do you have like a somewhat of a formula when you go into these head-to-head kind of like or round per round battles? Do you you know, some people will say like, yo, you just don't know, man, might as well put all your eggs in one, you know, in the basket kind of thing in the first round and go hard, right? And some people are too reserved, but then if you're too reserved, you might not make it to the next round.
Yeah,
you know
I've done that before. So I've made that mistake, I guess, in a live battle and an online battle. So it is a balance. I think at this point, I've been scratching for damn near 30 years. Like I've, you know, feel pretty confident in my ability to be at least stand out a bit, you know, in a crowd of scratchers. So at this point, yeah, that wasn't like, I kind of figured that was enough, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, and like lean on my like unique, like I've always been really into, you know, lots of hand control and doing, you know, funky shit with phrases and stuff. And so, and I appreciate people appreciating that. So yeah, I wanted to throw some of that in there, and, you know, figured it was probably good.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's move on to your second round, sir.
Round two. Yeah, I'm trying to remember which one this was. Was this crazy?
Here we go.
Electronic one? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Damn.
Okay.
I'm assuming that one was freestyle too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. You know, like generally, like had some kind of things probably I wanted to hit, or like do that little hydroplaning biz. But yeah, I mean that's just kind of how I operate. Like I learned to scratch kind of by ear. I learned to scratch before internet tutorials were super prevalent, and I was kind of isolated in Eugene, Oregon, without very many people to cut with. So yeah, I just kind of made up my own way of doing it. And then at a certain point, I wasn't interested in like learning all the nitty gritty. So yeah, I kind of have a unique approach to it in that way. And so yeah, it's hard for me to like lay it on. If I was like, okay, I'm gonna fucking chirp fast, and then I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that.
Like a
That gets in
composition.
my head more than just like, all right, kind of hit these rhythms and these flows. Think about it a little more like that, So
Ring finger stabs.
what's that?
Ring finger stabs, man.
Ring finger stab. Yep. I do that, and I have this weird thing. I don't even do it intentionally, but one of my fingers like cuts back, gets going like that. I don't know.
What?
Yeah, I do that too.
Yeah. It's one of those things that like developed over time, and then like I just noticed I was doing it a lot, and I was like, oh well, guess it works.
Yo, your flow in the beginning where you kind of have that slow flow where you kind of like open fader doing a lot of like one click stuff, and then you kind of like break it down and it goes ultra fast mode, kind of like right in the middle of it. Yo, that's fire. I'm trying to figure out how to like work that flow into mine, but like that's
Thanks, man. Yeah, that's that crazy. For me. Yeah, that like I kind of like was inspired by the way, again, back to like the Ned Hoddings dudes and like how those dudes were cutting in the early 2000s, is they would have the there's all I mean, even just like classic stuff of them having the session on the Bastard Language Tour DVD. It's like they would do those like a lot of like open tear kind of stuff where it's just more kind of pitchy and whatever, and it just funky like that, and then you can start to chop it up. And I don't know, I've always kind of tried to incorporate that stuff. So I like, especially on a fast beat too, like coming in slow and then just building it up, as opposed to coming in super hot and then like there's kind of, I mean, you can break it back down obviously, but that's just kind of always been a thing I've done or leaned on here and there. But yeah, that one was all I forgot about that one. I try generally not to go crazy on the ahs in the battles, just out of principle, because I like to switch it up and I like to hope other people switch it up. But sometimes you got to just shred that fucking ah.
For real.
But bro, I think you wanted to get out of this battle. That's why you just did the straight up ah. You're like, yo, I don't do it around, bro. I'm just gonna do straight up ah.
Nah, but I had to pick the crazy beat too. I was like, the ah over this beat, like that's kind of wild. And I think that'll do all right.
I feel you on the Ned Hodding thing though. I'm stuck there too, bro.
Yeah, man. I mean, I love that shit. I love the how they would just like have conversations, scratch, or start scratching over each other and like compliment each other, and like that whole communication and way of scratching is what I kind of grew up on in my DJ way. And so
there we go.
I can never unhear that, and it's just like it's the way that I like to deal with cutting. So
let's go.
I'm excited to cut with you, dude, because I feel like we would definitely like the vibes are there. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, and that's what it came from. Like that's where I learned so much stuff. Is like not again, it was before YouTube and stuff, so it was like maybe I had a turntable TV VHS or whatever, but it was when I could get to a session with people, that's when I like absorbed so much of what other people were doing. So facts. I was always trying to do that back in the day.
Yeah. What beat was that?
Yeah,
that beat is, I don't even remember who it's by, but I think I ripped it from some very old like Beat for Battle looper from like who knows when. Like it's a really, really old beat. I've had that one for fucking ever. But I like to pull it out because it's just kind of crazy. So I'd have to look it up. I could tell you, I think it's like Rent Gen or something.
Is that a beat you've cut to in the past?
Yeah, for sure. Like I've had that beat in my on my computer for like 20 years.
Oh, okay. So you're comfortable with it then, Ben, basically.
Yeah, I mean that was a little bit of like one of the reasons I grabbed it. I was like, this beat's crazy, but I also have cut to it a bunch of times. So I'll
that's dope. I would do the same if I was in your position too in a battle like this, man.
Wait, so if like when you're battling and you're like, because you're practically freestyling, right? So are you like in your head, like thinking of which rhythm to hit after you hit said rhythm for the next set? Like, or is it just like whatever's hitting in the moment?
Right. Sometimes I have kind of a structure where I'm like aiming to get to.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's like I just want to say these whatever 5 or 6 things and say, I mean, like do this sort of scratch or hit this kind of rhythm, and then also catch myself not staying in the same spot too much.
Yeah.
So if I get stagnant, even not stagnant, but I'm cutting, but I'm just sitting on a thing for too long, that makes me go, okay, maybe like that's a spot where I could do something else. But yeah, every take's a little different, and that's a blessing and a curse, I think. But that's life over here.
Sick, man. So now round 3. That's when we started going into providing beats to the competitors, and this one was one of Jointz's beats. Is the one with PJ's like, what was that? The come on, but I don't remember what he said, but he was like getting mad and stuff because we were taking too long.
Fuck up.
No, it's a 50 something minus 32. Just go on, just fucking go. You know,
right.
That's the one. 64 minus 32. Who gives a fuck? Just fucking go.
There you go. All those little samples got like burned into my brain running those takes a bunch, you know.
Yeah,
like the fucking Fast and Furious one. Yeah.
That's why, man. We stopped putting them in after a while. We were like, nah, man. We knew. Stop putting those in.
Yeah.
All right. Without further ado, let's get into your 3rd round. Man.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Skratcher.
46 minus 32, man. Come on, give the fucking goal.
Looking for a good flow, variety, try to use different samples instead of just sticking to an R fresh. Any commentary on the video? Like the setup is like sick.
Sick.
Love that record, man. The Battle Lab
record. It's a good record.
Yeah.
So sick.
Thanks.
So,
that's
what
tricky.
is
Yeah,
that?
that was cool too because it the hat it says so sick, but there's like 2 6 like really close to each other.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like back and forth between those and some for the phrase scratches, I guess.
Yeah,
Definitely was sick.
definitely.
And your stabs are like crispy,
Dude.
like perfect stabs.
I was just
They're
gonna
like,
say,
oh my
dude.
god.
Yeah, man.
Just notice how rested your hand is when you're doing all the fader work there too. With
It
that.
chills out
That's awesome,
sometimes.
man.
It's just laying there on the mixer,
bro.
Yeah, still.
Yeah, I mean, and, part of it, like you can, scratch fast without like tensing up your whole body. You know what I'm saying? If you do it the right way. So good. I feel like that works better for like my shoulders and shit. So yeah, not that I don't like hunch over and fucking get intense if I'm getting down, but I guess I was chilling back a little bit. I feel like that one I was like very caffeinated. I just drank some coffee and it was like I felt like I was a little ahead of the beat, but that's okay.
Hey, Celly, how many takes would you say you did for that round?
That one was more takes. That one was like okay, and the beat was different. And man, I don't know. I could go look in the Ableton session, but I don't know if I want to tell the real number. But yeah, it was a lot. I don't know. Call it 10 or 15.
You just don't want to relive that moment anymore. Like,
once
trauma.
It was a beautiful moment. Once I got that take and I put it up on YouTube, and I was like, done with this fucking round, and I would just do something completely different for a few days. So, or also like one of the most fun things was like especially in the later rounds, I was working on it for a day or two, and I was really cutting a lot. I'd be done with it, and then I'd just go like chill out and scratch, and I'd be so fucking sharpened up. It was very enjoyable to go and not do battle cuts, but just be fucking
just
ripping,
flowing.
I'd be like, damn, I'm like, my hands are just fucking dialed in right now.
Yeah.
Which comes from, I don't, in general life, I'm not scratching every day. Maybe I'm scratching once a week here and there sometimes. So, but this year, yes, I've been scratching a lot, especially since January. So,
damn.
Yeah.
After NAM?
After NAMM was very inspiring. So yeah, I mean, battle aside, I came back from NAMM like very inspired to Skratch, to step my game up in that regard, but also just like work on my music and stuff. Had a lot of good convos with people out there. So, yep.
You're cool, dude.
Cool dude. Yeah, and that record is good. That Battle Av Ken 1 collaboration record.
Yeah, I love that record.
One of my favorites to just cut up. It's a good skipless record. So had fun using that one.
That was really
and
sick.
no Oz in that one.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Thank you.
There's an but
nah, I don't like that
I think
record.
one of the competitors, like after I was talking about like the ah part, like with my voice in there, like dude just straight up cut an ah. He was just like basically saying F you. I was like, all right, it's all good.
Exactly. I remember that.
I mean, it's all good.
That's a choice. That's tight. I mean,
yeah. I mean, you can do whatever you want ultimately, man. It's your
Absolutely.
round. So it's like, it's just a suggestion, but doesn't have to go.
No, I
that
thought
way.
it was fun. Some people had kind of like played off of what you guys were, the samples you put in there or whatever. And I did think that was clever.
That was all Jointz. That was all you, right? You just picked those sounds, like
started
those
putting samples in there.
sound bites.
Yeah, man. Like, I made beats specifically for this battle. So it was just going off the energy that we were all vibing to. So
Amazing
interesting,
job, man.
interesting. Yeah, we got creative with that one.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
You guys just cracked me up that pod we were watching the watch party, and everybody kept saying funny things. So, had to put him in there.
Yeah.
Hey, Celly, so would you say like have you ever entered a battle that provided beats like that for you?
Not really. I feel like some of the IDA ones had like some more challenging beats, if you will, or at least not just like a straight up loop for whatever.
I
but
agree.
Okay.
that did happen, but it was a while ago. No, I think these were like custom beats, and you guys were kind of going week to week with it, which was like, okay, what should we do next week or next round, and discussing it and creating it. And I think that's pretty unique and that's cool. And while it was challenging, like I thought it made it entertaining.
Dope.
For sure.
Yeah, amazing job, man. That's what's cool about it, man. Putting these competitors to the ringer, because if you're going to be the Skratcher of the year, like you got to fuck it up, dude. Period.
For sure. Yeah.
Anyone could cut over a beat, but if you get something different, like this next one we're going to get into, which is the round 4, it's another beat by Jointz, of course.
Let's go. Let's go.
And it just progresses like more and more throughout it. So yeah, let's get into your 4th round, man.
Hey, Jointz, for the next track, could you cut the beat for a few counts? Let's see what they can do without the beat.
Why not we do a feature and call it Skratcher of the Day? Hey, let's go.
like,
This is
was that
the
the 2-minute one? Yeah.
This is the hee-haw breaks round. That's
a
you know what? Props to that because like that's when we started like.
There it is.
Nobody was. That's a non-skipless record, man, and like
that was part of my like, hey, like a little, hey, there's my difficulty upper. Like no one else is using just a straight up scratch sentence, you know. Not to mention, this is actually one of my very first scratch records I ever bought. Like this is the one that I've had for fucking ever. It's stored up.
Bro, that did not go unnoticed, man. Totally. We were like, oh, the T-Hawk breaks. Shit.
I actually also used this on that 545 track I'm on, so same record. Just to like
amazing.
You know.
That's actually a perfect
it means a lot to me, that record, so I like to use it here and there. But yeah, I had fun using that. I didn't necessarily want to use an ah, but there was an ah on the end of that bit, so I was like, fuck it, let's lean on that. But you know, not skipping. Are we chunking?
No.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. Yeah. Let's go again.
Oh, jeez. All right.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, you know, not using a ultra pitch record, not using a skipless record, not using DVS was kind of my way of being like, hey, it was a little difficulty upper on there. You know, so there's that. But yeah, I just love that record, and I wanted to do something a little different, and that was my way of doing it different. So found a part with some scratches, found a part with some drums, and kind of made it work together as best I could.
Celly, I have a question for you. So
Sure.
we as a group, like we all brainstormed and we want to come up with ideas to, I guess, get all the scratch DJs to like really, you know, I guess go hard at it and try to like, you know, we want to extract like the best you guys had, right? So that's why we came together. We just decided as a group, okay, we're gonna give you some beats to make you guys do something different and think differently. So when you entered the round, it was like a totally different sound, and we saw you adapting to the beats that we were giving you. Did you feel that it was ever out of your comfort zone and you said, you know what, I got to do something, or I got to learn something, or I got to like do something different with this because it's not what I'm used to? So did it make you, did you feel like it made you a better DJ per se, like a better scratcher?
Sure. I mean, it was a good challenge. You know, there's certain tempos that are just like not as comfortable for me to hit the double time on or whatever.
What's that?
So,
do you mind me asking?
Yeah. What's that?
What was that? Was the BPM you struggle on?
I feel like honestly, the hardest BPM for me to just like be super comfortable on is probably maybe between like 110 and 130, like that kind of zone where it's kind of before the electro zone, but it like, I don't know. I've worked on it more in the last few years or whatever, but I feel like even just like the general electro tempo for a long time was my weak spot. You know, I had the hip hop, you know, 88 to 97 cuts down. I had the fucking double time cuts down, and the electro shit would come on, and I'd be like, well, I can do a lot of stabs, and that's about it. Or like sometimes I rolled up in you guys' sessions in Seattle, or PJ and all his friends would show up at our shit and just instantly put on electro, and I'm like, no one's warmed up. This is fucking hard right now, you know. So, yeah, but lately, yeah, those beats, because then I want to try and double time it, but then all of a sudden you're doing 210 BPM or something, and it's like it's too much. So yeah, but I've been like just in my last few years just working on kind of playing with every tempo. Playing with a live band has helped a lot with that because we go all over the place, and our drummer is crazy talented. Shouts to Kirk. So yeah, really fun playing with those guys, and always kind of pushes me tempo wise.
Yeah, your band's sick, dude.
Thanks, man. Yeah, shouts to Rose Tinted. You guys out there on the internet like fucking live band shit. Rose Tinted band, look them up.
All right. Speaking of fast beats, we go to round 5. This is Paul's beat.
Yeah, I do. This one was, you know, it wasn't like hard to scratch on, but I felt it was hard to like really flex on, you know what I'm saying? And like, yeah, get those extra clicks in there. So
yeah, electro's like that, man. I feel like I have a set amount of like cuts I could do on there pretty well.
Right.
And like, just like you, man, stabs is like my go-to for like fast stuff.
Right. I have some go-tos, but I can't like get as loose as I might want to.
Yeah. Mate, you show it out, man. Let's get into your 5th round right here.
I just went in there, and Hector is going to be running 3 Honda Civics with spoon engines.
faster ain't fast enough.
Meanwhile,
now we're gonna hit you with some phrases.
Guillotine. Guillotine.
Flex. Damn.
Jeez, bro.
Yeah.
Real big fan of that round. I like how you really adapted the phrasing part when the beat changed. I was like, jeez.
Yeah, I think that was back to the previous question. It's like I think that was hard going from that fast tempo to kind of that slow down phrasing shit. That was tough just recording that, you know.
You didn't even adjust the pitch neither, right?
No, I mean I kind of had it set up, you know what I'm saying? Like the can be whatever, so you get the phrase right, and then you can, you know. But I mean, actually, I had it. I think it just worked out. Like the drums and the kind of like a guillotine was just like
I
was on
close
point.
enough. You know, I just left it the same pitch. So
I remember that round because when I first listened to it and you were drumming, that really like shocked me of how in key the drum is. Like the drumming section was to the song. I was like, no way. It's either a coincidence that he fell on that drum loop, or you purposely put that drum sound in. So was it by accident, or did you actually pick that specific drum?
I mean, I picked it from the drum sounds on that record, but they're D-Styles drums, so they're amazing. But yeah, that was the round that I was like, after I did the hee-haw breaks and used an old school record, and like I was listening to your guys' reaction video or whatever, and you were like talking about the Step in My Office sample. So then I went and found that sample. It's on Gag Ball Breaks. And I like just really tried to like make a routine out of that, everything that was around that sample. And it just wasn't quite.
It's not that good.
It's not that tight. There's just, there's phrases near it and stuff, but it just wasn't, it didn't feel like, it felt like I was doing it for that kind of funny sample, which, and cutting that sample up over that beat didn't sound that great either.
You still have that? Do you have that take though?
I didn't ever record it. I just kind of messed with it, I just, a lot of times, like I've learned, like I shouldn't start recording until I'm really kind of feeling ready to record, because then I'll just end up with all these takes that I don't even watch.
But the thought of you actually incorporating that, and the thought of it, that's dope already to me. You're like, already thinking ahead of the pin motherfuckers,
Yeah, I mean, and that's like what you don't see is like, I do try to mess around with a bunch of different sounds and records, and again, like I tried some DVS stuff for the last round, but yeah, generally I was like, my thing with scratch battles is like I like the challenge of not using DVS, even though it's enticing to be able to create your own custom sample pack or whatever, or scratch sentence, or have shit that's lined up and ready to go, and you don't have to have that moment where you are moving a needle around and there's silence. But I don't know. I've just kind of always been on that level where it's like I want that. I'm okay with that. Maybe it gets me more points or not. I don't know. It's different per battle. But it's more comfortable. And when you're really like scratching down and really trying to get the good scratching, gotta be on some vinyl, man. You gotta hear it. So
after thinking
that's
about
my
it,
opinion.
That's a smart move, man, and that's a flex, actually, dude. After thinking about it,
yeah, I mean it was for a long time. I feel like in scratch battles, it was kind of like points off if you use DVS. Like it's cool, but we all know like what comes with that, and so not to knock anybody who used it, and plenty of people did really dope routines with it.
They did.
It's just harder for me to vibe with it on the like scratch battle level scratches. You know, I love cutting on DVS. I love being able to make a sound and scratch it, or you know, not wear my favorite scratch records out or whatever. But
Yeah.
And we
Oh,
know,
man.
we know your routines, man. Like with DVS and that other secret sauce, I already know.
Yeah, I'm capable of doing it. Well, it sounds like the ocean just washed in over here. What's
Controller
going
one
on?
routines.
Yeah. I mean, just the music, my own production. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's your steez, man. When you like did the drums on the 4th round, I think that kind of opened up doors for people to start doing more with the drums and whatnot. But like in the 5th round too, with the D styles drums, it's just killed it, man. But I was just thinking, like, that timing going from like one groove to another, and then to hit that timing, I feel like there's so much room for it to not be like on point. Like if that was me in a battle, like in a live setting too, I feel like you can't even catch that half the time.
It'll
For
be
me
hard.
at least, because
It'll be hard.
yeah, you have to be quick on it. So I mean, kudos for even like being able to do that. I mean, I don't know how many rounds it took to
That one
record
probably,
that.
yeah, I did a bunch for that one. I don't know the
Yeah.
number.
Oh yeah,
but
see, I wouldn't doubt it, man.
Yeah, that one,
Damn.
you know, because it was, we were getting down to it. That was top 8 or whatever, the 5th round, or 4. I don't even remember. But yeah, anyway, I was like, okay, I need to fucking get a real fucking take.
Yeah, amazing job,
so,
man.
Thanks, man.
Definitely killed it. Everyone like went ape shit when you did the drums.
Tight. Yeah, I've always loved those drums, and I was like, you know, figuring out that I could incorporate them. I was happy to kind of just happen across that. And
yeah.
Hey, Celly, we're going to say that, were you watching these watch parties after after each round? Were you watching like to get some
generally,
feedback,
or
maybe to get
I'd like
inspired?
put it on while I was like doing some shit and listening.
Okay.
You know, I wasn't always able to just watch the video, but yeah, I tried to check it out. Maybe didn't necessarily listen to the entire show, but
Right.
you know, it was cool to hear some feedback, and it also gave me a chance to just like hear what the other competitors were doing. Because I do kind of try to just not think about that until it's done, and then I can like, okay, I can watch other people's shit. But yeah, it's good and consolidated since it was kind of in the format of you guys talking about it and presenting them. So yeah, thought that was cool.
All right, man. So this is it. This is your final round. Before we get into your video, man, like what were your thoughts getting into this round, man?
Yeah. So hey, I was very honored and stoked to make it to the finals, you know, and hearing that it was such a debate, you know, between me and Cheddarak, who I thought his routine was fucking sick. So yeah, that was like, oh shit, okay, I'm in it. I gotta bring the heat. And so I don't know, I just did a lot of thinking about how I wanted to approach it, and then helped once I heard the beat, which yeah, you guys got to us pretty quick. Yeah, and then I just started a big debate of like, should I use vinyl or DVS? You know, because I was looking at what other people were doing, and I was like, okay, I see how running through the samples and having dope phrases all lined up and quick is like, you know, has an appeal. So I don't know. I had a big internal debate about it, and even talked to some folks about it. But yeah, and then I was like, you know what, I'll give it a go. And so I sat down one day and like made a custom sentence kind of to the beat, and tried it out, and it just wasn't quite. I wasn't really feeling it, you know. And I'm sure I could have like put something crazier together, but yeah, that was kind of my message. Just like, all right, go back and lean into the vinyl shit. And then so yeah, then I just started kind of poking around records and trying to find a record that had enough cool stuff on one side, basically, to make a fucking routine out of.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy that you went and tried different approaches to this round. Like
Yeah, I mean,
DVS
that
or
was, you
non.
know,
Yeah, it's crazy.
it's the finals. I was like, I gotta, you know, I don't want to half-ass this one for sure. So, and I do, you know, I was putting a lot of effort into those other 2 rounds, 4 and 5.
Yeah.
I would say. But yeah, and I happened to have a decent amount of time that week that I was able to put into it. So I probably, you know, it was due on Friday. I probably, you know, I did the DVS thing on Wednesday, and then kind of figured out I was going to use vinyl, and then sorted my routine out on Thursday. And then, yeah, by midday Friday, I had that take, and I was like, hey, that one's good enough for me. I'm good. So
Quick question about that. Like, you know,
Yeah.
even scheduling yourself, like lifing and then having to deal with like deadlines with this, coming up with the routine for it, like was
Yeah.
I get I know it must have been difficult. Yes.
It's a challenge. I mean, you know, I have a fairly flexible schedule, but I still, I pick up my daughter every day, in the afternoon. So there's a certain time where I just have to stop whatever I'm doing and go do that. That's important. And like, I don't know, there was just a bunch of, I'm a homeowner and like shit was just breaking on the house that week. And it was like, wow, the fuck is this happening this week? Like some shit broke and then there was like ants in the cabinet and like, it was kind of a whole thing where I was like, too much stuff going on. I got to focus on this. So, I was dealing with those things as well. So it is hard to find that balance. And I've also learned how to like take a break from it, because when you're trying to do those things like that, and especially to those fast beats, like you can get just physically burnt out. And so there was times where I was like, I could go back this evening and try and work on it more, but I don't think that's actually going to help, or I would go and like play with ideas, but not try to record anything, and just like get more comfortable over the beat.
Damn.
But yeah, a lot of my free music time is like if I choose to use kind of my morning and daytime for it, and because I'm occupied in the afternoon and evenings a lot. So yeah, I fit it in as best I could, and wanted to get the take on that Thursday so I didn't have to go back on Friday and try again, but I didn't really get it, so I did, and yeah, just kind of put my head down that Friday, and by like lunchtime or whatever, I was like, all right, that's good enough. So
earlier you mentioned about
it's a journey.
Earlier you mentioned about reaching out to certain people, the direction with this round.
Yeah.
Were they DJs or were they producers or just normal people?
Yeah, a little of both, I'd say. I mean, a lot of my friends are just producers and stuff too. So just talking to them, they happen to also have musical knowledge. But yeah, I'm not saying any names, but I did talk to a DJ or two about it.
Sick.
And honestly, didn't really follow their advice. So, but it's always good to bounce something off somebody and just get another perspective.
Yeah.
So,
definitely, man. Like I've entered
cool.
battles and I've talked to other peers too, man. It helps to really talk to kind of get a different perspective. Sometimes you get really in your head, and then you get stuck, and you get frustrated.
Yeah, I always get. What happens to me is I get to a point where I have like 2 or 3 takes that are good, and I cannot figure out which one is better than the other. And there's been times where I don't even remember what battle it was. One time I hit up my buddy Flip Flop, and I was like, man, just tell me which one of these you'd pick. And I had one in mind, and then other people picked one, and everybody kind of picked the same one. So I was like, great,
yeah,
I'll use that one. But I didn't do that in this battle. I just was in my fucking own head figuring it out.
Yo,
generally.
I stopped asking people like before. Like I learned this lesson. Like I think it was the year when I won my first DMCs in Vancouver, and I was practicing at Homeboy Headspin's place, like because he lived really close to the venue. So I was doing sound check at Head's place, and there was another DJ there. I'm not gonna say his name, but he was there. And it's like he's an OG out here, but he's like, "Yo, you should do it this way. You should do it this way." Got my head and shit. I was like, "Fuck this dude, man!" Like now I'm like I gotta revise my whole set right before, like, dude, like sound checks like in 30 minutes. Like, no,
that's not the time you want to be second guessing your shit.
Exactly. So, like, yeah, I'm done.
But it's wild how compliments will just kind of roll through you, and then someone says one little critical thing that like has some truth to it, and you're like, "Fuck, I'm gonna think about that for years" or whatever, like. So, yeah, I mean that's just the artist life, but. Yeah, I was at this is fucking over a decade ago, but I was at like a cut session at Prolific's house actually back in the day in LA, and it was really cool. I got to meet everybody there, and I don't even remember who this dude was, but I was cutting, and he was like, "Damn, you do a lot of 2 clicks." And then like I fucking heard that in my head for way too long. I was like, all right. I don't even know who that dude was. Like he wasn't even necessarily a Skratcher or whatever. But I was like, damn, you fucking got in there and just hung out in my brain for too long, bro. So yeah, you got to be aware of that stuff. Yeah.
Maybe he was hilarious. Like, 2 clicks are awesome. I can't do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was stoked about it. Yeah, I was just fucking stoned and like, is he telling me I'm doing that too much? Like, got in my head.
There it is. Yeah,
but it was wild because, like, I thought about that more than I thought about meeting a bunch of LA dudes and them telling me I'm dope. It's like I should focus on that. Like
that's crazy.
Such an artist, though. Man. That's what's up. We're our worst enemies, bro.
We are, dude. It's been in the game a long time, and I've learned that yeah, that just continues. You don't just get it, and it never goes away. So just have to
it doesn't
manage it and keep on. So yeah.
Nice. All right, without further ado, man, let's get into your last round.
Yeah, the final.
Yeah. And this is a Jointz' beat, yeah?
It's kind of collab of everybody's ideas, but yeah.
Okay, this guy's too humble, man. Okay, all right.
It's like they told me ideas, but I produced the whole beat and mixed it and put it out. So
I know, right.
Damn. All right. All right, here it is, man.
Yeah, it's dope.
Skratcher. You know I get down. You know what get down. What get down.
So many things happening at the same time. SOTY, I need this guy.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Bravo.
Bruh.
So good, bro.
That was a mind fuck.
I had fun
I'm
with that one for sure.
I think I caught all of us off guard, man. We need to reverse.
Yeah, I mean, when I kind of figured that out, I was like, "Oh, all right, that's pretty tight," because it's
that sample worked
forwards
perfectly,
and it's forwards, backwards, and
then you caught a different, like almost as if it was doubling the time. Like
right.
Tempo change, like
Said it sounded like
Do it again.
one more time.
the beginning was
television,
and then when the other part,
yeah, that was like,
yeah, that shit's sick, man. Celly, ladies and gentlemen, our 2025 Skratch of the year, dude.
Dog.
You're right. Yo, get that shit.
Hey, just sample
hey,
that,
if it
dude.
makes
Just
you dance, you know.
That's right.
Yeah, no, I was happy to happen upon a musical element that was semi-technical and sounded cool because I wanted to include that if I could. You know, I was like, oh, I did drums, I could do drums again, but there was not a lot of time in that beat, man. That shit went by quick. I felt like, you know, that was
really
like just a minute. Yeah.
It
So there was a lot of takes
one.
where I was like, oops, I just scratched over the part where I was going to switch to the fucking music shit. So, yeah, and I wanted to do that. And I also was very aware of not using any of the musical features on the controller one, even though I'm using a controller one, because I want to keep things level. So, you know, that was just a reverse button, which other turntables have, and just switching the pitch from, 8 to 60 or whatever. But yeah, and I did have it set, predetermined to be the right things. But yeah, when I came across that little moment, I was like, ooh, I think I got to try to put that in there.
Yeah.
I'm glad everybody liked it because I wasn't sure.
At first, I was like, Celly just want to flex his C1, man. Fuck this guy.
Right. I had people hit me up and be like, damn, when you used the C1 at that part, that was crazy. And I was like, yeah, but I didn't. But that's cool. I just, I don't want to get disqualified for using shit I'm not supposed to use. You know what I'm saying? So I was aware of that, whether it was obvious or not to the people who don't know those turntables. So, but you guys know, so that's what matters.
Yo.
Oh, yeah.
Skratcher of the year 2025, DJ Celly, official.
Hey, man.
Oh, congratulations, Celly.
Well
Congratulations.
deserved. Yeah, hell yeah.
Deserved.
Hey, Jovie J, please let the studio audience know what Celly won.
Oh man, I've been wondering. And a lot of people have been asking me too, and I'm like, I think they're
we
going to tell me on
exposing that?
Monday.
I think we're
Yeah, we're gonna expose it right here.
Let's go.
So we are going to bring it to like, I guess, like the WWF Steez style, whatever you want to call it. But you are going to have a belt. With Skratch of the Year with your name on it. It's gonna be dope, man. It's you know, you can smash it into the next competitor's head and shit. And
you know, if it comes to it, you know.
Yeah, man.
I'm just gonna wear it in every video from for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, we're gonna get you a legit one though, bro. Like
it's legit.
Yeah. I mean, I believe it.
Legit. Yeah, it's legit.
That's sick.
And among other things, with that. But yeah,
among other things, but that is the focal piece that you're gonna get. That's what's up.
Cool. Well, I mean, hey, I'm stoked, man. I'm excited to see that and whatever else is involved. Like when is that revealed? I'm curious.
We'll just get. I guess we'll just get your information on what you want.
You're just gonna send me a package of exciting things.
Yeah. It'll be a package of
sweet. Let's
So,
go.
for sure.
An S11 Skratcher limited edition. Cross 12.
Uh-oh.
What else did you say, Paul? You were sponsored.
Damn.
Chris, I just use your credit card. We get all that.
Oh my god.
Hey, you know, I'll give you my address. Let's go. I got room down here for more shit.
Damn.
I'm just gonna but for real, thank you for inspiring like a whole bunch of the next generation of cutters, because like what you're doing is like something out of the box, and when people see that, could you just imagine the next competition? So that's gonna be like you're like unleashing like new talent here. So you know, you
for sure. I appreciate that.
You know,
I appreciate that. I try to do that, and you know, that's bringing it full circle back to like Skratcher, doing Skratcher Portland and stuff. It's doing the thing that like wasn't there when I was young and coming up and be like, boy, I wish I could go cut with people, you know, or whatever. And no one was doing that, putting on a session in Eugene or even really Portland at that point, even though I did connect with folks up there. So when I had an opportunity, originally it was Skratch Pad and then it was Skratcher, but yeah, that was always cool. And whether, you know, and we did it every month for many years. So sometimes we didn't really feel like doing it. And then someone would show up with their kid who'd be all psyched about seeing people cut, and it'd be like, oh, this is why I do this. So time in and time out, we always had a moment like that was, fulfilling or reminding us why we're doing it, or reminding me why I was doing it. Yeah.
Celly, when's your guys' next session?
Doing one in less than 2 weeks. So Saturday, the 18th of April, the next Skratcher Portland session at Platinum Records. 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Come on down, free, open to everybody. Downtown Portland. It's gonna be a good time.
Hey, right before we go, but like I don't think a lot of people know that you this is not the only battle that you won off of Skratcher, but you also won Wild Cuts. And
10 years ago.
10 years ago. Damn. And you've received like, I know Rayted sponsored that huge, and they gave you a huge giant check. So on top of the belt that you're getting, we're gonna match that with a size, like the same size pen for that check.
God fucking
that'd be amazing.
That pen's gonna have
Go
Skratch
sign
on
it,
it
just
too. Yeah, I want that pen. It's gonna say Skratcher on it, dude.
It's like that. I mean, it'd be sick if it was a Skratcher pen that was like this fucking big. I'd put that on the wall. Like
deadass. Was it actually a check? Like a
I showed them the other night when they called me. I don't know if you maybe weren't on that, but I do still have it. It's just out in the workshop. It's like a fucking whatever 4 foot long check. Because I mean the Wildcats 2016 paid out $500 from Rayted Fader or whatever.
There you go.
Could you actually cash a big ass check like that or no?
No.
That's just for show. Just a question, yo. Like Happy Gilmore. Happy Gilmore did more.
In my experience, it was he PayPal'd me the money and then asked me to take a picture with the check that showed up later. So
kind of cool. If the signature is legit, like what's up? You know?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to do with it. It's just sitting out there. It's cool. But yeah, I mean, it's trippy because it is coming up on 10 years, and I think it wrapped up kind of in this time of year too.
That's right.
Wow.
I feel like the last entry was like in April or something. So
That's
Full circle.
Yep, got some history, and yeah, cool. 10 years later to do
So
another.
wait, do you actually have a picture
win.
with the check? Because that could be the thumbnail for this.
I do somewhere in my pictures from 10 years ago. Yeah,
That'd be a sick ass thumbnail.
It's gonna be
No, it's okay. I can AI this dude, right? You're gonna
yeah.
I'm sorry, holding onto the pen with a check beside it.
giant pen behind him.
I mean, you guys want to send me another check? I'm cool with that.
Yeah, let's go.
I have like $1.
Hey, Celly.
Yeah.
What advice would you give a future Skratch DJ, like battle advice for something if they wanted to enter like an online battle like this?
Just do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know a lot of people that get in their head about even entering, and it's like, it's okay if you're probably not going to win. It's a good challenge for yourself. You know, I way back 2001 or 2 when I first got on the message boards, like they were already doing online battles on there, and I put my stuff in, and it was like people, whatever. I was like, oh, I don't like people judging my stuff in this competitive way, and so that kind of turned me off for a while. But at a certain point, I was like, this is actually, it's a fun challenge for yourself, if anything. You know what I'm saying? And not being like, I don't want to enter because I know I can't beat so-and-so who's probably going to be in the battle is just the wrong way to think about it. Like, that's not a good approach for a lot of things. But yeah, I'm glad I've entered, and I've lost a bunch of them, you know, like, or like whatever, only made it so far, etc. But every time I like come out of it a little bit better at scratching and kind of my approach to that sort of stuff. So, yeah, every moment of it might not be the most enjoyable, or if you're in that fucking rabbit hole of too many takes, that sucks. But yeah, I got a lot of homies where I'm like, dude, just enter the battle, like throw up a video, and they're like, no. It's just like, but I think even just like the act of recording yourself, you know, is good for feeling more comfortable performing, whether it's the red light of the camera or a bunch of eyes staring at you. Getting more comfortable in front of people is a helpful skill, and especially in like a performance art like this. So yeah, I'd say just do it, and don't sweat the fact that you might get knocked out in the first round. That's okay. Maybe you'll make it to the second round. Maybe you'll make it to the 6th round.
Well said.
Well said.
Yeah, bro. Damn.
I mean, that's how this battle came about anyway. It was just people that are dope posting their own stuff. It's the only way we would have found them doing Skratcher of the day. So, you know, post more, guys. Everybody.
Also, I do have to say, watching the rounds again, they age really well. Like from the first one, and you see the gradual progression of everything, including the beats. It's like all the videos aged really well. So that's another thing that's really dope about it.
Totally.
Yeah, like his beard is like basically everything that he went through.
It's like constantly growing each
day. I thought about like not trimming it at all through the whole battle, but I couldn't do that. I was looking too crazy at a certain point.
Looking too crazy.
Chopped off a little bit.
Little homeless look.
Yeah, well, and then there was one of the reaction podcasts or whatever where you guys were talking about the beard a bunch, and I was like, all right, well, now I definitely got to keep the beard around for a minute.
Yeah.
Maybe like,
the beard, man.
We had beard envy, bro. It's beard envy. Like,
it is beard envy.
Yeah, we can.
I
can at least.
So where can everybody find Celly?
Oh, there you go. Good. Yes. Hit me up. Celly PDX at, I don't know, mostly just Instagram and I guess YouTube now. I've been putting these battle videos up on YouTube. But also, you know, I run Skratcher Portland. So Skratcher Portland, check that page out. But yeah, that's all me as well. And Rose Tinted Band, a band I play with. Check them out. I don't remember our Instagram. RoseTinted.band, I think. I'll look it up. My buddy handles that. Yeah, RoseTinted.band. Check us out.
Okay.
Good shit. Yeah, live music with really dope musicians, but I'm in there cutting too. So I'm a big part of the band. I'm kind of like the vocalist. So
nice.
And if anybody's going out to the Tri-Cities Skratcher event that is happening in May, bringing the band out there. So we're gonna
sick.
play, rough cut Has
Shout
been
out
bugging me
Ruff.
for a couple of years about that. So yeah, that's happening.
Yes.
We're committed. So yeah, we'll be out
Amazing.
there playing like the after party show.
Oh man, I thought you guys were gonna play during the b-boy battle. That would have been crazy.
Yeah, I think we were gonna keep it more of a show. There's like a venue next door where it's gonna be a thing. But yeah, I mean, I'll be involved in maybe playing beats or doing a little thing during the battle too, of course, for the Skratcher bit. But
Six.
Hell yeah.
yeah. So yeah, those are some ways to check me out. Also my brother, his name's Calvin Valentine, super producer. He's got a lot of music coming out this year, and some of that I am on as well. So pretty excited about that. New album from Illa J Dilla's little brother.
Yeah.
Produced by my little brother. It's coming out. It's really good.
Okay.
Got a bunch of cuts on that, so look out for that.
Busy.
And yeah.
Busy.
Also on that posse cut on the new 545 album whenever that comes out.
Let's go.
There it is. Let's go. That was pretty, that felt pretty cool to it's like me, EPROM, IQ, Faxer, and Somatic, I think. Like, damn, it's pretty honorable bunch to be in with. And yeah, I heard the song for the first time on Swift Styles thing a couple weeks ago, and it's dope, dude. It's not just like a one beat posse cut. It like ebbs and flows and has some different parts, and it was really tight. So pretty stoked about that. Young Skratcher Sam. It's always loved those dudes. So
Exciting.
Good things happening.
Yeah.
And winning Skratcher of the Year, pretty sick too. So I'm hyped, y'all. Honored.
That's awesome. Well, dope, Sam. Thank you.
Hey, thank you guys.
Time.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
And there you have it. The Skratcher of the Year. DJ Champion of the World.
Yeah. I know my daughter's like, you're the Skratcher of the Year, best in the world. I'm like, hell yeah, baby. She's like, telling everybody. Tell those kids. Go tell your teacher about it.
Tell them.
Give him a bumper sticker too.
I mean, I might put it on my car.
On the Subi?
I'm not a big bumper sticker guy, but maybe on the window.
There you go. Ray, you want to take us out?
Yeah, man. So, like, being Skratcher of the Year, are we expecting more follow-ups with your dermatologist?
God, fucking damn it, dude.
That's why. Yeah, I'm looking at all this stuff. Like, you want to see my arms, man? I've been fucking torn up.
But yo, man. Well, salute, bro, man. You freaking killed all those rounds, man. I know it wasn't an easy thing to judge. I know everybody here, like, we were, like the fifth round was just nuts for everybody, and just with
I was
everything.
feeling for you guys on some of those. Good Lord.
My goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's tough. It's a tough thing to do. Judging is not easy, man. So salute to everybody here in the room for like making this all happen and doing something for this thing that we all love, man. Scratching. Yeah, everybody. Yeah. But I mean, yo, man, I'm fucking proud of what you've accomplished, man, and excited to see what else you do in life and stuff, because the scratch music stuff is dope. The stuff you do with your band is dope. And just, with the culture moving forward, bro. Fucking Skratcher of the Year, man. Congrats.
Yeah,
man.
thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to put some music out this year, so that's a little goal. So we'll get that. We'll get there. Hey, so
all right.
And once again, letting everyone know I wasn't one of the judges. So, but if I was judging, I would have picked this guy over here.
Hey. Cool. All right. Well, that concludes the watch party with our champion, Celly.
Hey.
Let's go. Congrats again, bro.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Peace. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Happy birthday. Happy Hanukkah.
Till next Skratcher of the Year.
Ooh. Yeah.
Skratcher.
46 minus 32, man. Come on, get the fuck, let's go.